So the items that I'm gonna be using is this 14-inch foam wreath, and I got this from Walmart, and it was pretty inexpensive. I'm gonna be using these gold flowers, and then also these glittery red poinsettia flowers, and I got the flowers from Michael's. And then I'm going to be wrapping the wreath with these beads, and these are beads that I caught during Mardi Gras. During Mardi Gras season, I like to keep some beads specifically for crafting projects, because these are really the exact same kind of beads that they sell for using for decorations. So that's just a tip if you guys live in New Orleans where they have Mardi Gras, any other areas that has parades and stuff like that. You might want to keep some of the beads because you can always use it for crafting projects. And then I'll need scissors just to cut the beads, and then my glue gun and glue sticks. And I purchased 4 bundles of the poinsettias. And then I just have this handful of beads. I'm not sure how many I'm going to use. I'll try to keep track of count so that I can let you guys know. So first you want to plug in your hot glue gun and let that get really hot. Next you're just going to grab a bead. And you're just gonna cut it anywhere just to make it into a string. And if you purchase beads that's already in a string, then you can just leave that part out. So first you're gonna take an end of the bead, and you're going to place it onto the foam. You're going to start off with a little bit of hot glue. And you're going to just place the beads onto the hot glue like that. And once that's placed down, you want to start wrapping the remaining beads around. And you want to keep the beads close to each other. And every other wrap around, you can place a little bit of glue. Just to hold it down, and then you're going to continue to wrap around. And then once you get to the end of the bead, you're going to put a little bit of hot glue down. And you're going to place the bead onto the glue. And this is how it should look. So that's how the wreath is looking so far with just one bead on. And you're just going to continue to do this throughout the entire wreath. And you're just going to start off on the end that you left off. Like this bead ended right here, so I'm going to put some glue right there. And I'm just going to place the next set of beads down, and I'm gonna begin to wrap that one. Every other wrap, you can just put a little bit of hot glue down. And then continue on with the wrapping. So far I'm on my 5th strand of bead, and this is how it's looking so far. Just a tip, when you go in and glue down the next set of beads that you're going to be putting down, make sure you hold the beads down and make sure that it dries first, because I have been just putting the glue down and beginning to wrap, and if you don't let it dry all the way, you'll end up with little gaps in it. Which the gaps aren't so bad, because if you get a gap, all you have to do is just cut however many beads off that you need and just fill it in. But as I'm wrapping more and more beads, I'm having to use more glue. So what I've been doing is just putting just a little bit of glue down and then holding the beads in place for a second, and then continuing to wrap and just putting just a little, just putting like one squeeze of glue and holding it in place for a second, and then continuing to wrap. This gap right here, I'm just gonna go in and pull another bead, cut it, and I'm just gonna measure how many beads I need to fill in the gap, and I'm just gonna cut that section off and go in with some hot glue. And just place those beads into that gap. So that's how you guys can fill in the gaps if you want to. So you guys, this is how far I've gotten. I've been working on this for about an hour, and I'm almost done. I'm more than halfway through, so this is just how it's coming along. So this project will take a bit of time, and also plenty of glue sticks for the hot glue gun. And you're just gonna continue to follow the steps that I showed you with gluing down the beads and wrapping it around. So once you get to the end of the beads, it does get a little bit thrown off, and you're gonna be left with this little gap. As you can see, the bottom is wrapped already, but you have this opening that's left. So all you're gonna do is take the beads and just go into it and measure out how many beads you're gonna need to put in. You're gonna cut it off. And then you're just gonna take the hot glue and glue down the piece that you cut off. You're just gonna fill in. The rest of the way you won't be able to continue to wrap it, so you're just gonna fill in until that opening is closed up. So this is how the wreath is gonna look once you're finished doing the beading. And it does take quite a lot of beads. I used almost all of the beads that I had pulled out. This is I only have one bead left and a small piece of one. So it took I would say about 30 beads. And it really looks good like this, so you don't have to add much to it. But I'll be adding a lot of flowers to it because I just like a lot of stuff. But it really looks good as it is. You can add a bow or maybe just a few flowers to it, and it will look really nice that way. So yeah, that's that part. So now I'll show you guys the rest. So next I'm gonna grab my little stems of flowers, and I'm gonna cut the flowers off and leave about an inch of the stem. And these flowers are metal, so I did grab some wire cutters to cut them off. Okay, so I went ahead and cut out all of the flowers, and I did have 4 bundles of flowers, and it came with 3 flowers on each bundle. So I just laid out the flowers onto the wreath just to see how it looks and how I should space it. And this is about how much I left on the end, just so you guys can see. And what I'm gonna be doing is just taking that wire, and I'm gonna be pushing it into the foam. Like that. So I'm gonna push all of these flowers into the foam first. I'm just gonna push them in with my fingers, and then once I have them all pushed in how I want them, I'm just gonna take a little bit of the hot glue and just put it around it so that it's nice and sturdy and it's gonna stay in place. So right now I just have the flowers pushed in. I haven't added any glue yet, but I just have them pushed in because you can just look at it and see if you like how it looks or not. And what I did is I left some space at the top, the bottom, and on both sides, because I still have the gold flowers that I'm gonna add in as well. So I pretty much like how this is looking. So I'm gonna go ahead and start adding some glue to these flowers to hold it down, and then also gluing these flowers down, and I'm gonna be gluing that down with the hot glue gun. I'm just gonna start gluing the gold flowers, and I'm just gonna add the hot glue onto the back of the flower all over, and then I'm just gonna place it onto the wreath. So now I have all of the flowers are glued down really good. And you just want to pull on them a little bit and make sure everything is on. It's not going to fall off or anything. And I took some of the leaves that came on the bundles of flowers, and I cut them off, and I'm just gonna randomly glue some of the leaves just in random spots on the wreath, and then after that we'll be done. So I just cut it off, and I'm just gonna add some hot glue to it and just put them just in random spots. So you guys, this is the final results of the wreath. And you guys can tweak it however you want, but I'm a bit extra, so I added a whole lot of flowers. But you can always do less if you want the beads to show more. But this is how it came out, and I really like it. And I really liked making a wreath with the beads, so I will be making more wreaths with beads and doing different things with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more videos. Bye guys.